I worked 7 days a week before becoming a politician, when I was a bureaucrat, when I was an IAS officer for 27 years. I'm in the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. I leave at 10. I go to a church on a Sunday. I'm back in my office. On a Christmas day, I go to church, but I come back to my office. I work. I love work. But before I leave office every day at 10 o'clock at night, I tell my wife, be ready for a party. We are out partying till 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, once a week, once in 10 days, I go to a disco. I dance for 8 hours non-stop. Can any of you dance for 8 hours non-stop? Anybody? I can challenge you. None of you can. You gotta have, you can? Anybody, any bets? Who there? I want to see. Who you? You want to bet? Yeah, unfortunately I'm wearing a munda. You know why I'm wearing such a long kurta? You know why? The leader of the opposition threatened that he'll pull out my dhoti in the assembly one day. He's a close friend of mine, Umman Chandi, former chief minister. I take his threat very seriously, and so I wear this long kurta in case my dhoti is pulled out. There is no danger, you know. Yeah. So, in fact, I wasn't planning to stay here tonight. I was planning to go back because I'm the finance minister of the Cochin University, QSAT. I have my syndicate meeting tomorrow and I have to present a few items. So I was planning to go back, but then I said this meeting, in any case, is not going to start at 5 o'clock. It's going to get very late. The driver who brought me here, he's already made 2 trips to Cochin now. If he has to make a 4th trip, I think that's going to be hard on him. So I'm going to stay here back tonight. So my wife says, you have no night clothes. I said, I'll borrow a nightie. She said, I will kill you. Yeah. So, yeah. So I guess I stay here for the night. Yeah, nighties are open. I mean, there's options that are available. Well, I have brought no change of clothes. You know, one thing about me is I'm completely excited about life. In fact, that is not the right word. I'm very passionate about life. Unfortunately, how many are from outside Kerala? Just raise your hands. Yeah, put your hands down. Now, unfortunately in Kerala and India, when you talk about passion, the only way we understand it is in bed, isn't it? And even there, I think we are pretty lousy. I'm passionate about life. I'm passionate about everything that I do. When I work like crazy. When I dance, I dance. When I read, when I speak, it's about changing the human mind. Why did I drive so far away to come and speak here? I was incredibly busy. Why do I come? I make a speech every day to thousands of people across the state and across the country. Why? I believe that our young people must be allowed to say their own dreams. I believe it's young people who can make the change. Who's talking about change these days? Who's one on a slogan, a single word slogan? Who? Obama. You know, 2 years back, yeah, of course Obama, I guess. You know, 2 years back, my son who's studying in the United States, he rang me up one day and said, you know, this guy, this is incredibly smart chap, he's going to become the president of the United States of America. 2 years back. I said, what's his name? He said, Barack Hussein Obama. I said, say it again. He said, Barack Hussein Obama. I said, what kind of a creature is that? I never heard of that. He said, this guy is very smart. I said, tell me, describe me. I said, he's very skinny, he's black. I said, he's black. He's curly haired. He's got a black wife, black children. I said, he's talking about becoming the president of the United States of America. I said, he must be crazy. He said, I'll send you a speech of his. This was his speech at the 2004 Democratic Convention. Did any of you listen to the speech? Many of you may have seen it. Go to YouTube, you will see it there. My son was one of the 3 speakers for Obama at the Madison Square Garden last year. I said, son, no way. There was Hillary Clinton, the president's wife, incredibly influential family with unlimited financial resources. There was this guy with no money, abandoned by his father when he was just 2 years old, brought up by a stepfather for a little while in Indonesia, no home, brought up by his grandmother back in Hawaii, worked in a community program for 3 years after he graduated, went to Harvard Law School, got into into a law firm in Chicago. It took a long time for him to get his first kiss from Michelle. He says, yeah, she was, his mentor. She was his mentor in the law firm. And this guy talks about becoming the president of the United States, and he says, I don't want federal funding. America has a system, you raise X amount of money, the federal government gives you X amount of money, equivalent amount. He says, I don't want government money. He raises $10, $15 from people. And it's incredible. He becomes the president of the United States of America. Isn't it? Yes or no? It's incredible. I think this is who elected him. It's young people, isn't it? This is youth power. It's incredibly the power of the youth which is really won barriers across the globe. I think this is, one of the biggest revolutions in the history of the world. I think it's an incredible man. What is our lessons? Ladies and gentlemen, you are in this festival. Some of you have come out victorious with prizes, some of you have not. But one thing I know is that all of you have put a limitation on your intellectual capacity. This is what I can achieve. This is what my brain is. This friend of mine is a genius. This friend of mine, she is incredibly talented. He is a kala pratibha. But this is what I'm capable of, beyond which I cannot. You have imposed a barrier on yourself. Isn't it? Yes or no? I was an IAS topper. I'm an economist. In fact, the past 2 months I've been delivering lectures on the global economic meltdown and its impact on India. Maybe I'll come and speak here another day on that. I'm an economist. I taught money in college. When I decided that I want to do something with my life, I decided to take the IAS. Why? Because I said that job gives me the power to change things. I didn't take economics because the topper from Delhi School of Economics, which is as good as London School of Economics, had got only 28% of the previous year's IAS exam, so I didn't take economics. I took subjects which I never studied before. I took history, I took sociology, I took philosophy. I had exactly 9 months to go for my examinations. Now here is exactly you as managers. What lessons do you want to learn from this? I said I want to get into the IAS. I'm extremely presumptuous. You can say I'm a pretty arrogant person. I wrote in my diary. You know what I wrote in my diary? I had 9 months to go, 3 new papers, 3 subjects. I wrote in my diary, I'm going to be the topper. Presumptuous, maybe a little intellectual arrogance. Well, this was my goal, very simple. Now, as a manager, how do you do it? I had 9 months. 6 months I set apart for studies and 3 months I set apart for revision. But I said I would never study more than 6 hours. When I was studying, I would go and see movies. I jog, I'm a jogger. I jog 5 kilometers a day, even now. I would spend time with friends, listen to music, go to a disco every once in 2 weeks. That's something which I can't live without. But if I go in Kerala to a disco, it will be all over the newspapers. Red letter, Kannamthanam MLA. Yes. In scandalous, extremely scandalous position in a disco. Yeah. What's a disco? When you move with the universal rhythm, isn't it? Yes or no? When your mind and heart and soul moves with the universal rhythm, Om, which is a primordial sound. That is to which all of us go back. Isn't it? Yes or no? When you rhyme with that universal sound, that is dance, isn't it? Yes or no? That's what I do in a disco. I planned it out. I said I'm going to be the topper. When the results came, I didn't go to the UPSC office the previous night. I could have. I was in Delhi. Next day when the results came, I folded the newspaper, kept it under my pillow, slept for the next couple of hours. I opened it a couple of hours later and I found I was a topper. I topped in all the 3 subjects I did. All 3 subjects. Once I got into the IAS, I walked up in Mussoorie Academy. You know what I was before I walked up in Mussoorie Academy? I was the manager of a rock group, of a rock music group. I had long hair, of course, longer than her hair. I was in it's pretty good. I woke up in a cowboy boots and a cowboy hat in the Missouri Academy. You know, Missouri Academy is located in the middle of a forest, and most people, when I walked in there 10 days later than everybody had reported, because the cops hadn't given me a clearance for 10 days, so that's why I got late. The whole Missouri Academy was absolutely shocked when I walked in there. You know, I said, what kind of a creature is this? They must have thought somebody who strayed from the forest nearby, you know. I went to the library point, went to the barber. He looked at me with surprise, said, you look like a Madrasi. A Madrasi is generally here only in the IAS Academy, but you don't definitely belong to that breed. I said, sorry, I am. I happen to be one. He went for the longest scissors in his armor. Chop, 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 chop. I asked him, how much is your fare? How much is your charges? He said, this is my contribution to civilizing the IAS. And he didn't take any money from me. He became my friend, my philosopher. Every Saturday I used to walk down to Library Point. Who has been to Missouri, he used to have a coffee with him. I got back to the Missouri Academy, wore a black suit, but I refused to wear a lapel card. I hate lapel cards. It's something like branding animals, isn't it? You put a stump out there. I hate that. Label cards. I got back into Missouri Academy. I said, I chopped up my hair. I got into a black suit. I become the establishment. But I said, there is one thing which I'm going to keep. I said, that is going to be my backbone. Let me ask you, how many of you here have a backbone? Just raise your hands. How many of you have a backbone? I'm asking in Malayalam. Okay, all of you have. Are there any strange creatures? No, just touch and feel where you have it. I want you to touch and feel where you have a backbone. Don't look at somebody else. Touch and feel yours. Sorry, everybody's got it wrong. I was just watching, got it wrong. What do you mean by somebody who's got a backbone? It's somebody who's got the guts to think differently, yes or no? But the whole world says, this idea is not right. It's the ability to think different. Where is that? Is it at your back? It's in your mind. The ability to respond when the whole world says 1,000 people, this is what is right. Your ability to raise your hands and say, sorry, that is not what I think is the right thing. This is the right thing. The ability to respond differently. Where is it? Is it at the back? No, it's in your mind. When the whole world says, sorry, it can't be done. It can't be done. You stand up and say, sorry, it can be done. Where is that courage? Is it at the back? It's in your mind. So where is your backbone? It's in your mind. This is the title of the book I'm writing now. Your backbone is not at the back. All of you should read it. I hope to become a millionaire soon enough. That's the only way I can see myself becoming a millionaire. Yeah. Now let me ask you again. Quite a few people raise your hands when I asked you first. How many of you have this backbone in your mind? Just raise your hands. Don't look at somebody else. Look inside you. How many of you have this backbone in your mind? Okay, quite a few. Good. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the one thing I have. A lot of people would say Alphonse Kannamthanam. I mean, KD Alphonse outside Kerala has done miracles. That's what people think. I've done no miracles. The only thing which I have is my backbone. I have decided